Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In this video, we shall be discussing the nature of roots of a quadratic equation. So let's start. I hope you have gone through all my earlier videos on quadratic equations because all the videos are connected. If you are watching a particular video of a sequence or in a sequence, in that case it becomes slightly difficult for you to understand. So it is advisable go through each and every video before you come down to the next video. Okay, so we are talking about a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to a 0, wherein a is a non-zero number value, right? And here we know that alpha or beta are the roots or zeros of this quadratic equation. Alpha or beta are the roots or the zeros, wherein we know the value of alpha. The value of alpha here is minus b minus delta upon 2a, and the value of beta here is minus b plus root delta upon 2a. So before we begin the discussion, in that case, I would like to discuss few more points. So now, can I find out the sum of the roots? Yes, the sum of the roots is alpha plus beta, and the sum of the roots will be given by, so alpha plus beta is how much? We can derive it from here. So it becomes minus b by 2a. So this is the first point. Second point here is, can we find out the product of the roots? Now please try and understand this thing fundamentally. Though I know that you know what is the value of alpha into beta, which is c by a. But how do we get this value? Keeping in mind, there is one more value that I should have written here. We know that the value of delta here is b square minus 4ac. So now when you are multiplying alpha into beta, when we are talking about the products, you are basically saying what? Minus b minus root delta upon 2a into minus b plus root delta upon 2a. So forget about the denominator for the time being. Denominator can be simply written as 4a square. So you are basically doing what? So let us understand it like, okay, so can I say this is, if I take the value of minus b as x, let's say for the time being, so this becomes, let's say, x minus y, and this becomes x plus y. So how much is x minus y into x plus y? This can be written as x square. Now x is what? Minus b. X minus y into x plus y is x square minus y square. So can I write that this is nothing but minus b whole square minus root delta whole square, which can be further written as this is b square, because minus b whole square is b square, minus root of delta whole square, which is delta, upon 4a square. What is the value of delta? B square minus 4ac. So eventually you get what? You get 4ac, because b square gets cancelled out, minus into minus is plus. So 4ac upon 4a square, which is how you get the value of the product of the roots as c by a. So even if you forget, still you can derive, even if you forget. Okay. Now why were we discussing this? Because this is going to help you in factorization as well, and we'll be using all the methods here that we have discussed in our videos for finding out, to make a quadratic expression as a perfect square, or finding out the roots, or finding out the zeros of a quadratic expression. We'll be using all the things that we would have talked about in our videos with respect to your grade. Okay. Now, we already know this. The thing that we don't know is, we can also talk about the difference between the roots, right? So difference of the roots. So when you're talking about the difference of the roots, if somebody says that difference between a and b, difference between alpha and beta is how much? So you will not only take alpha minus beta, you will say alpha minus beta or alpha plus beta. I'm sorry. alpha minus beta, or you will say beta minus alpha, because it does not say subtract beta from alpha. See, please understand it like this. Difference between two numbers can be subtract the second number from the first number or subtract the first number from the second number. It is not case specific. It is a generalized term. So which is why you will have to talk about both the cases. Okay, having said this, now how do I get the value of alpha minus beta or beta minus alpha? Let us first simply talk about alpha minus beta. So can I say alpha minus beta whole square? And this will help you, right? So this is just like saying alpha square minus 2 alpha beta plus beta square. So can I write it in terms of alpha plus beta whole square? I can. So how much is alpha square plus beta square? Alpha square plus beta square, when I am expanding alpha plus beta whole square, can be written as alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta, and minus 2 alpha beta is already there. So alpha minus beta whole square comes out to be this. Now when you are calculating the value of alpha minus beta, you will say this will be either plus or minus, and here we have what? The under root. So this becomes alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta, which is just like saying you can use the sum of the roots as minus b by 2a, and you can use the product of the roots. When you use this, you will be able to say that this is nothing but, when you substitute these values, you will say this is nothing but root of delta by a. So alpha minus beta, which is the difference between the roots, will be either positive if alpha is greater than beta, and if alpha is less than beta, in that case it comes out to be negative. But the value here will be root of delta by a. Okay, now if you say how will it come out to be in a, because finally you are multiplying it by 4a, I mean 4 alpha beta. So which is why. Anyway, so these are the three things which will be immensely used when you are solving questions on quadratic expressions, quadratic equations, henceforth cubic and polynomial, because we have to step up the ladder. Okay, coming down to the next discussion now here. So we already know, we had already established that this is the condition for, these are respective conditions. So delta is equal to 0 is the condition for real roots or zeros. So why should I say only real roots? I should say real equal roots. So here both the roots would be equal. So we'll say equal real roots or zeros, that you already know. So now in this case the equation changes to what? The equation changes to a times of x minus alpha whole square or x minus beta whole square, but a will not evaporate. This is how you write down the equation. This is how you write down the quadratic expression having real factors. Now when I talk about real roots, in that case this has to be equated to a 0. So what is the equation of, what is the quadratic equation that can be formed with the help of let's say an alpha wherein both the roots are real and equal? So you will say either it is this, or what will be the quadratic expression? So just remove a 0, it becomes a quadratic expression. Okay, now the next point that arises here is, when, let us talk about the polarity of the roots. How can two roots be equal? So let us say if one root is negative, let's say minus alpha, the other root also needs to be minus alpha. If one root is 0, the other root can be 0. If one root is plus alpha, the other root will be plus alpha. This we are talking about. So in this case the equation changes to, so let us say this is case 1, this is case 2. So talking about case 1, so there can be only 3 cases that can be made here. So talking about case 1, what will be the equation? So you will say a times of x minus of minus alpha, which becomes what? X plus alpha whole square. equal to a 0. In the second case, the equation can be written as the second case. So you know in this case, so are you reminded of something? The first video that we had talked about, in that we had talked about various types of quadratic expressions. So wherein the remaining two terms have been removed. Okay, now this also is another kind of a quadratic. So you will see that here, if you expand this, will you be getting all the three terms? Yes, you'll be getting all the three terms. Okay. So here you would see that this is that variety wherein you are getting the three terms of a quadratic equation or an expression, and this is that variety of a quadratic equation wherein you are having only the highest power of x. The remaining powers of x are absent. But this will happen only in case of real roots. Let us talk about, here we will have unequal real roots. Now when you are having unequal real roots, let us talk about the cases here. So if one root is minus alpha, first case, in that case the other root or the 0 could be what? Minus beta. That means both the roots are negative in this case. So here you can see both the roots were negative, both the roots were neutral, both the roots were positive and equal. Here two real roots can be unequal with the same polarity, but then their measures could be different. Now what will be the equation in this case? You will write down the equation as, this is nothing but x, a times of x plus alpha, because x minus of, I hope you are aware of the fact, this is the equation that has been given to you. Now this is the equation, quadratic equation, which is formed wherein the roots are alpha or beta. Second case, one root is negative and the other root is a 0. So in that case I get what? A times of x plus alpha into x minus 0, which is x itself. So if you recall, this becomes the second variety of a quadratic expression that we had talked about in the first or the second video. So which was, this is just like saying ax square plus bx is equal to a 0. Right? Third case, one root is negative and the other root is positive. Now these could be two cases. I hope you are understanding. One root is negative and the other root is again is a positive root, but here you are having symmetric roots. Now why do we call them as symmetric roots? Because if one root is minus 1, the other root is plus 1. They are symmetric. They are equidistant from the origin. If I have to plot this. So how do I write down the equation? The equation here is x plus alpha into x minus alpha is equal to a 0. So what kind of a quadratic expression is this? This is a kind of a quadratic expression that we had not talked about. So which belongs to the second category only. Now which category is this? We are basically talking about ax square plus c. We had talked about three categories. We had talked about ax square plus bx plus c. We had talked about ax square plus bx. We had talked about ax square. We didn't talk about ax square plus c is what we are talking about now. Okay. Now in this case, the equation becomes what? So now the fifth case, let us say one root is positive and the other root is 0. So how will you write down the equation? The equation is a times of x minus alpha into x. So again the second form is equal to a 0. The last case that I can write here is a times of, okay, let me first write down the roots. So both the roots are positive. Let's say plus alpha and plus beta. So can I say this is a times of x minus alpha into x minus beta is equal to a 0. How many cases have we formed here? 6 plus 3. These are the 9 cases that you would always talk about in terms of real roots, whether they are equal or whether they are unequal. This discussion can be further taken to a next level. What is the nature of the roots? I mean, though we are talking about the nature of the roots, but we are basically talking about delta deciding the nature of the roots. So real, unequal, real, equal, or here we are talking about imaginary roots or non-real roots. But then we can talk about the type of roots. Type means what kind of a number is it? Is it an integer? Is it a non-integer? Is it a real number? Is it an imaginary number? Then this discussion can be further subdivided, right? Which we are not talking as of now. We will be talking it in our next video. Okay. The only thing that you need to understand here is imaginary roots, they always exist in pairs. So when I say they exist in pairs, that means if one imaginary root is plus I, in that case the other imaginary root would be minus I. Right? Now, as discussed earlier, also we'll be using, first we'll be discussing all the concepts, then we'll be using the concepts to solve the examples from your NCERT book, and then we'll be solving the exercises using the same concepts. So it is requested that you go through the concepts, each and everything in detail. If you have any doubts, please put it in the comment section or contact us personally so that we can help you out. If you feel that this video is really knowledgeable and informative, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you have already done so, click on the bell icon and select all so that you get regular updates from us. If you want us to do some specific videos or some difficult topic videos, put it in the comment section so that we can do it for you. Thank you so much. Until next we meet, goodbye.